Oasis Audio presents The Lost Tales of Sir Galahad, edited by Jennifer Trafton, read for you by Simon Vance. Introduction. Finding the Lost Tales. Now, after Sir Galahad had smitten down Sir Lancelot, as aforetold of, he rode for a long while in a wild forest, and had many adventures of divers sorts, of which no account hath been given, though mention is made of them in the ancient histories of those things which I have read. So begins the 7th chapter of the story of the Grail and the passing of Arthur, as recorded by Howard Pyle. Hitherto Galahad's adventures of divers sorts have been a perplexing puzzle to historians of Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. Which wild forest, of all the wilds that once existed in the realms of Britain, or indeed of Faery? How long did he roam there? What did he do and eat for all that time? Whom or what did he meet, slay, rescue? How did he manage to emerge unscathed from such unknown trials to achieve the Holy Grail at last? Alas, these questions seemed as unanswerable as the other great unfathomable mysteries of human history, such as how did they carry those huge rocks to Stonehenge, and who carved P+J forever on the tallest one. Until now, that is. Deep in the labyrinthine archives of the Bodleian Libraries in Oxford, a research team from the Society for Galahadic Study and Emulation recently made a momentous discovery: a discarded ceramic bust of St. Plagiarus of Tintagel, which, when broken open, yielded a hidden trove of medieval manuscripts in various states of age and vermin-induced disintegration. As to the actual circumstances of the finding and breaking of the saintly bust, we have, at the request of the Society, buried the details in a footnote to spare certain parties any additional embarrassment. The surviving pages and fragments turned out to be a collection of tales purportedly chronicling the adventures of Sir Galahad in that very wild forest, of which we have yearned to know more. Needless to say, such an historical gold mine has caused a tremendous stir amongst both professional society members and lay society groupies, collectively known as the Galahad. Indeed, Professor N.I.T. Witt's team has, since their triumphant emergence from the dark recesses of the library, been so hounded by adoring fans wearing Galahad Lives hoodies, brandishing homemade swords and toasting them with tankards of ale, that they barely had a moment's peace to prepare these remarkable documents for publication. If you've picked up this book, the fruit of their painstaking perseverance and research, you are, it must be assumed, a Galahoodlum yourself, possibly even a proud wearer of the aforementioned Galahoodie. I hardly need to remind you, therefore, of the circumstances whereupon Sir Galahad embarked on his journey through the wild forest in the first place. But let us imagine him together for a moment, 18 years old, brave, bold, innocent, with the weight of enormous expectations and glowing prophecies upon his young shoulders. Raised by nuns after the death of his mother Elaine, he has only recently met and been knighted by, and, in a case of mistaken identity at a much too narrow bridge, soundly unhorsed and embarrassed his father, Sir Lancelot of the Lake. Yes, that Lancelot. Far behind him now is Camelot and Arthur's Round Table, where the Siege Perilous awaits his return. This coveted seat, devised by Merlin, had indeed proven perilous to all who attempted to sit there, except for the knight destined to find the long-lost Holy Grail, the legendary Cup of Christ. Now it bears the name Galahad in gold letters across the back. The boyish knight wields a shining sword, traditionally called Linda, according to Herbert of Tintooth, which he pulled from a block of red marble, probably Merlin's doing again. "Greatest knight in the world," the inscription reads, and who is Galahad to argue with swords, or stones, or seats, for that matter? A damsel clad in white gave him a coal-black charger. The White Friars gave him a silver
Sample complete. Ready to continue?